Well, welcome back to another episode of Fort B Ranch. Today is a little bit of everything. Start off with showing you guys some things going on around my house with the gardens, and then we got some cleanup to do at the farm with the mower and the weed eater. Maybe show you guys the cows. We got to feed them a couple bales. Since I have the trailer hooked up to go mow at the farm, I'm gonna go up and check some fence at our pasture, and we'll haul cows probably next week. And then anything else that falls in. So, all right, stay tuned. This is what I got going on for peppers and tomatoes. There's one pepper in there that I don't know what's going on with it, but these guys spent about 10 days in the garage because we had frost and like 40-degree highs. I don't know if it ever got frost, but there was advisories. And so they spent some days inside, then they got them acclimated back out to the sun again. And today they're gonna get planted for the most part. I got one tomato that doesn't look like it made it through the wind very well, very much. And then, what are you doing back there, Journey? And then I got one pepper plant that looks like it, other than the one I just pointed out, it looks like it didn't get through the wind very well. So, other than that, I got a till at the farm as well, because I think there's going to be some kochia weeds they're trying to poke through that need to be taken care of. So, lots of things to do. A couple things I should share before I get too carried away here. One, there's some sort of like thing on my finger now. Yeah. So congratulations to Megan on marrying me. And we had like 5 inches of rain. I had 5.7 in the rain gauge. So lots of water sitting and standing. Is it sitting? Water sitting or water standing? I think people use both. But so the gardens and stuff got water really nice. But not quite done planting them all. That was the only catch with the cold weather leading up to it. So garlic looks good. There's some plants that didn't come up, didn't make it through the winter for whatever reason. I like see them here, but I don't know why they didn't come up very well. Maybe if I clear some of these weeds, they'll come up. Or the leaves. I'll eventually till in between these rows, which are planted perfectly straight. I did a really good job planting them perfectly straight last fall with Megan. And then I did plant a couple tomatoes over here. This may look like weeds, but I got dill in there I just need to poke through. And then I had beautiful growing strawberries, if you remember the back to the last video. And then a deer got in here. Even with the fence, the deer got in here and nibbled them off. So I reordered some more strawberries, or had them ordered. And so this will all be strawberries. I just put all these in the ground yesterday. A bunch of bare root plants, and then I had netting come. I haven't finished this project because I don't know quite how I want it to line up, but I figured if I had the netting I'd put it over top of the strawberries just in case the deer would come. Update on Ziggy's kitties. I haven't seen them. Not really sure with the cold and rain and the wind. I don't know. So we don't know, do we, Ziggy? But anyway, let's get to work. This kind of setup makes me think I'm a landscaper. Weed eater, plants, tiller, shovel, a mower. I used to landscape. Now I just do it for a living, but don't get paid. Well, I spared you guys from the mowing and trimming here at the farm. It was really long. I killed the mower a couple times. Let me zoom in on the big pile of leaves. Leaves? It's grass. Nice. Next plan is, well, I'll just take you through here. I got some raspberries here and I planted some onions. I just peeked at the onions while I was weeding around it. And I don't know what kind of happened, if the rain kind of got to them or what, but don't see very many. But I do have some raspberries coming back. I planted a couple kind of fill in the spots. I could have just pulled some of these, but I wanted a different variety and maybe a different year of these. There's a couple deer tracks in here because what does the fence do? This one looks beautiful. Hopefully get some raspberries. Fun fact, I planted these 3 or 4 years ago. And I picked 3 or 4 raspberries off of them. For whatever reason, the deer get in here. I put a fence up. It is like the 5-foot high woven wire, 4-foot high woven wire fence. And they still get in here. So I might actually grab a bale and put it up in the one corner so they can't sneak around the corner of the fence. But our biggest issue here is these guys. Oh, these little weeds. This will be the 3rd time I've tilled this. So I'm walking over here to look at the onions that are non-existent. There's supposed to be 2 rows of them. There's one. Sporadically there's a couple more. And these were like the little bulbs. So I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a little bit more time, but I'm gonna have to try to till around the rows again. The entire time I was going, I was thinking, wonder if I'll run out of gas. Wonder if I'll run out of gas. And I have like 3 minutes left. I saw Cole Sunny complain about these on his channel and his Instagram post. He had completely different ones. So if I complain about these two, do I get free ones? Got a couple things I have to keep in mind. One, I don't know how many peppers I actually have. It's a lot. Probably the most I've ever had, which is great. I'd rather have that problem than not enough, like I did last year. Second thing is I want a spacing in mind. They're gonna compete and get really tall and then get, you know, the spacing of, I don't know, 16, 18 inches. So this is actually one that I bought. Doesn't really have, let's see, does it have directions? Yeah, 24 to 36 inches apart. I also want to keep in mind how wide my tiller is. And so I think if I would go 4 feet apart, probably better. I might just do one large step because I'm not going to get a measuring tape out. And we'll see how that goes. I got a couple extra and I got some coming, so let's see what we can do here. All right, got them in where I think they're gonna go. I don't want to count right now, probably because I'm sure I'll have a couple die in this transplanting process. Picked this garden last year. I had sweet potatoes, which I'll never plant again because they're a lot of work, and regular potatoes here. This garden gets a lot of sun, a little bit lower of a spot, so it stays moist. A lot of moisture in when I tilled it. The problem is that it was really weedy last year because I didn't get in there until, with the sweet potatoes get viney, and I let the weeds, and I'm sure I had 4-foot weeds out here. I got really frustrated, so I let the weeds grow, and then they dropped all their seeds, and now I'm fighting seeds. So bunch of little seedlings and weeds and things that died when I tilled, and that's the third time I've tilled. So the nice part about peppers is I can get in here with the tiller, and that's kind of my weed prevention method. I have done preen, which might have to happen this year with this spot. So I'm gonna get all these planted. I'll pick you up when I'm done, show you the finished product, and then I think we're gonna go get some lunch. So. And we're done. Everything looks pretty good. I'll give you guys updates throughout the summer. And yes, it'll be a lot of peppers. That's the point. Catch you after dinner. Well, I got a quick bite to eat. Gotta feed the cattle. That's how Colstein says it. Gotta feed the cattle. Gotta give them a couple bales. Gotta give a butcher calves a couple bales. Nothing major, and we'll peek to see what's going on out there. I haven't driven out there today simply because I've been hooked up to the trailer, but we're going to use the side dump again, take a few bales out there. I got just checking my pocket for a knife, cut twine, push it off, and get back to regular scheduled programming. All right, so I gave a couple bales to the calves, and then I loaded up 4 bales for this side dump hay hauler. We'll go take it to the pasture or pick up Journey out of the other pickup on the way. Come on. Capable of jumping onto a bed, not capable of jumping into a pickup. Kind of push a couple of these bales out because I'm looking for a cow or two without getting decked by one of our mean cows here. So I'm gonna hand push this out, but I need 2 hands. Found her. One of our 2 heifers yet to calve. One right there. That one. She's a little bit off yet. And that one right there. The rest of them, care less, I guess, about if they're gonna calve or not. Those 2 kind of have to keep our eye on. She's gonna got a black tinge to her face. There's a little stud muffin right there. That one will be mine. No, it is mine technically, but he looks good. I don't know about this little black girl here. Green grass comes so nice, they really don't want to eat hay anymore. And we'll get them out to pasture. The plan is next week, but they still will chow down on a couple barley bales that we cut and put on there. That is for certain. These hay bales gotta include some roughage in their diet, and so they don't overgraze this pasture that many of them will not say for the summer, and many of them are following the pickup because we've been giving them a half a bucket load of corn every once in a while, so they really don't care and they're kind of full, but they got something to chew on. There's actually still a bale out here from the last time we did this a week ago, so they're getting enough. Anybody want to come shoot some gophers? They're getting enough feed right now, kind of rummaging through the hay that's kind of spread out of here and the grass that they really don't need much. But those barley bales will probably be gone by the next day or 2. We'll load it up to go fix some fence now. Wonder what else we can fill this day with, Journey. Didn't show you we we tilled my parents' garden there quick too, since we had the trailer hooked up. Oh boy. Work, work, work. Well, made it to this pasture, and first thoughts, the fence line along the road looked really, really good. So that makes me feel good about what I'm about to find. The grass is coming. This pasture was extremely dry last fall. I think like 8 miles east of here had like 5 inches of rain and a couple storms, and this place got 0. And and you could tell it was really brown towards the end of last fall. So obviously we had some good rains this spring. I'm not sure what they got up here. This is about 45-minute drive with the trailer from home. So there's lots of dead stuff and green stuff. Journey's gonna run along as we go look. Last year when her and I did this, there was like 4 turkeys and a couple bunnies. Let me back up. I know it's not overly wet. There was water to the field to the north, but usually there's water sitting in here in the spring, which just means they've had rain. You can see it's muddy, but it's not overly wet. So there's water sitting in the field just to the north, but typically in the spring there's water sitting here. There's another spot, there's water in the corner. We'll go look at that. But so far so good. There's one spot where I could have maybe stretched it, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We have a quitter halfway around the field. Here's the other spot that has water. And it looks like there's a busted wire in there, but I don't have the proper clothing. So I don't think they're going to bother it. It's all slough, all water in there. Maybe later in the summer, if it dries up and I start to bother it, I'll have to come up here and fix it. But there's an old fence line and a new fence line, because I'm guessing a rooster and a hen. I'm guessing that the old fence line was starting to go bad, and then they put a new fence line in, and it's kind of double wired there, but the bottom wire is kind of hanging. Did you see the rooster? So we'll worry about that maybe in the summer. I don't think they're gonna bother it now. Water hole looks okay. Seen it better, higher, but not too bad for being really dry last fall. Here was pretty quick and easy and done. Meet you guys at the pickup. Oh, Nelly. Might put this in reverse here. Oh, we made it. Kinda. Well, I'm gonna take this home. Maybe start editing this video. Call it a day on the major things. Probably water some plants and stuff. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Be more videos in the summer now that school's out. And peace.